What's happening, guys? We are back here again today for another exciting video. This time around, we're going to dive into a recent experience that I've just had at a car dealership. I'm sure, as you guys could probably tell from the title, we definitely have a lot to talk about here. Now, before we dive in for today's discussion, guys, for anyone new, thank you so much for stopping in. Feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. I've got an excellent library of automotive content. Your support is much appreciated. So I'll go ahead and start off and provide you guys with a little bit of relevant background. You guys know we recently completed our Project Audi S6 build, and that car has since been sold. Make sure to check out the video right up here if you want to see the final send tribute for the Project S6. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you can probably guess once you complete a build, as far as any project car, it's always important to make sure to kind of take the steps to plan the next build accordingly. So I've been looking at some different options, been kind of marinating on some different choices, looking at some pros and cons, trying to take a look at what the market has to offer. I've talked about in other videos, the used market's pretty tough right now. So that being said, there are a lot of important factors to take into consideration when planning the next project car. So taking a look at some different options as far as looking at a replacement for the Audi S6, trying to plan the next build for the channel. Been doing a lot of research, trying to browse online, use some different automotive search engines. As you guys know, the market's pretty tough still. There's not a whole lot of inventory. And this particular car that I went to go look at, there's not that many of them. They're a little bit tough to find in general. Definitely not the most popular mainstream option. So already working with some pretty slim pickings to begin with. So given the circumstance with limited availability as far as used inventory, I did decide to go ahead and arrange transportation from one dealership to another dealership locally. That way I could see the car in person, get a good test drive, and an overall assessment of the vehicle condition. So taking a look at the vehicle in person, as excited as I was, unfortunately, we immediately found some pretty critical red flags that caused me to unfortunately have to walk away. I'm going to make sure to put up some photos as well so we can go into a little bit more specific details so we can talk about some of these major red flag issues. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to you guys. If you want to speculate in the comment section down below as far as what type of vehicle this is based on some of these photos, I'm curious to hear your thoughts and feedback. So starting off, first things first, I could tell immediately we definitely had an issue with the front bumper. If you could put your hand on the hood, the fender, and get a feel for like the natural texture, the finish of the factory paint, in contrast to the texture and feeling of the front bumper, I could tell right away this front bumper had definitely been removed and repainted very poorly. You could tell the finish was extremely dull, very flat. I could tell right away this had not been painted professionally by any type of automotive paint shop. So obviously this is going to be a huge concern. You can see where they tried to tape things off, trying to throw something together, hoping to maybe rug sweep some damage that had occurred previously. So anytime you go to look at a used car and you start to see massive issues as far as like extremely poor repainting that's obviously done very hastily, this is obviously a huge red flag. In addition to that, if you take a look at another picture here, you can see the way the light is hitting the bumper. You can see there's actually some deformity where this is clearly showing that the car has been in some sort of accident. I will mention as well the way the front bumper was not lining up with the fenders. You can tell the bumper had been removed before, hastily repainted improperly, and you can see the fenders unfortunately did not line up. So this is obviously efforts to rug sweep a previous accident. Now, from my standpoint as a consumer going into this, based off the vehicle listing, it is clearly stated that this vehicle has a clean title with no accidents. It's so disappointing when you take a look at a situation like this and you start to recognize that so many shady dealerships, they really have no issue trying to take advantage of unsuspecting buyers by making efforts like this to rug sweep previous accidents. So after going on a brief test drive and going over the entire car, I came back, the salesman at the dealership asked me, what do you think about the car? How'd you feel about it, etc. And I very firmly told him, look, man, I appreciate your time, but this is just not going to work for me. The car has clearly been in an accident. I've got pictures right here. Take a look. You can see where this bumper has been removed. It's deformed. It's extremely poorly repainted. It's absolutely not done professionally at all. This listing states that this vehicle is free and clear of accidents, and I'm telling you that this evidence clearly shows that the vehicle has been an accident. And then the guy looked at me with a straight face and had the nerve to say, well, sir, if you'd like us to contact our detailer, if you want to have the vehicle detailed, it's not a problem. And it's like, I'm sitting there, I'm telling you, look, man, I didn't ask for the car to be detailed. This is an issue of a misrepresentation of the condition of the car. The issue I have is that you guys have already misrepresented the condition of the car. I've already paid you guys to transport the vehicle. Clearly, the vehicle is not in the condition that is reflected on the website listing, so I'm going to pass. I will not be purchasing a car. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be spending my hard-earned money on a vehicle that has been in an accident. So the moral of the story here, guys, is you got to be very firm. You got to be bold. You got to be assertive. You got to put your foot down and tell them, say, hey, man, look, there's obviously something going on with this car. You guys are hiding something, and it's not going to work for me. And that's pretty much where you're going to have to part ways, and you're going to have to continue the search. We all work way too hard for our money to invest into vehicles that have shady history or previous accidents that have been swept under the rug by these shady dealerships that are trying to scam people. So again, I'll make sure to show you guys all the pictures. Definitely some issues going on with the car. Front bumper was an absolute train wreck. You can also take a look at the passenger side rear taillight. We've definitely got some issues with damage here as well. So again, another reason why you just got to walk away. So I'm super bummed, guys. I really hoped this vehicle was going to be the one to take the place of the S6 as the next project car to introduce to the channel. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have any thoughts, feedback as far as possible replacements for the Project S6. I definitely appreciate all the support. Be careful when you guys are browsing cars. Definitely lots of shady dealerships out there, so you want to make sure to be on the lookout for any shady practice or possible scams. Unfortunately, there are a lot of shady dealerships out there with bad intentions, so you got to watch out. You got to protect yourself from these scams. Well, thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. I appreciate all the support. Feel free to hit that comment section down below. Drop a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate your dedication and support. Stay tuned. I've got a lot of exciting projects coming up here with our BMW 340i build series. Good news, I do have some parts coming in here pretty soon that I've been waiting on, so I'm really excited to continue the build, get some more content for you guys on the F30 build series. For any reason, if you guys need to pick up any aftermarket performance parts, upgrades, etc., I'll be sure to leave all applicable links in the description box down below. Thank you guys again for sticking around to the end of the video. I appreciate the support. We'll see you in the next one. Gosh, that is so much quicker. Just that immediate throttle response is like overwhelmingly better than stock. Wow.
It's pretty well established at this point. The B58 is an absolute powerhouse of an engine. Even with basic bolt-ons tuning, the sky is really the limit when it comes to the B58. There's so much you can do with these cars. BMW designed the B58 to make some serious power, and that's absolutely what this car is here to do.
As you guys can see behind me, we've got this massive box containing an AWE touring exhaust system for the F30 340i. Gotta say, this exhaust is looking pretty good so far, guys, but I really cannot wait to listen to what it sounds like once we actually get it installed on the car.